Gentlemen, thank you so much for making time for me. Of course, as we speak, we're literally about, I'd say, 36 or 37 hours away from Transplant hitting CTV. Really excited about this. How are you guys feeling about this? Because here in Toronto, you guys are here, and I think you even did a panel yesterday or something.
Yeah, we did a first preview of the first pilot episode, and did a little Q&A afterwards, and felt great.
What was the reaction like from the folks?
It was really good, actually, and we've seen little bits of it before, and feel positive about the show. I think it's a terrific show, and it was nice to see it with an audience and get that reaction. So yeah, we just need an audience to see it now. Get it out there.
And I'm looking forward to it. Before I actually came here, and I was talking to some of the folks before, I thought Transplant was actually a real story of somebody's life because it's so good, but I believed it. Where does the story actually come from for this?
Well, it's loosely based on somebody's life, a doctor who we worked with, and he was one of the consultants on the show, and his story is very similar to what Bash goes through, and he's a refugee. He came from Syria, and he's working as a doctor here now, and he was one of the primary consultants on the show as well, so that's where it comes from. It starts with a foundation of truth, and then artistic liberties are taken.
Okay, so we now understand your character too in the story. Your character, how is he involved in this?
Well, I run the emergency department. Right at the beginning, I'd recommend people don't miss the first 5 minutes of the show. There's a fantastic, explosive opening, and Hamza saves my life. He's working here. He's a refugee here in Toronto, but a trained doctor, and has the opportunity via saving my life of working to his skill set. So so that's where we're at. It's kind of thematically, it's about second chances and opportunities taken and missed. And I think it was interesting what you were saying about having a documentary feel, because I think the quality of the writing is such that the characters don't feel like TV type of personalities who are there to create a dynamic or a challenge or a whatever. They feel like real people. Yeah, exactly. They feel like real people dealing with real life. Each character is dealing with their own life issues as well as being part of a fantastic drama.
Even with the name Transplant, I was thinking about this too, because transplant could either mean the medical term, or transplant meaning, of course, being in another world. Is that kind of like the play on for this title?
Absolutely. That's what I've taken it as anyway. If the writers and producers had something else in mind, it went over my head. But yeah, it's sort of it's something from a foreign body that's transplanted to another host, and we'll see if it takes, like we do in the medical world as well.
I think it definitely will. I think one of the big things that's also related about this is people feeling like when they go to another country, say coming to Canada, they feel transplanted. And I think there's a relationship with that, because whether it be medical, whether it be, construction, whatever else, people do tend to feel that way.
Yeah, I think that's true. And I think it's no coincidence that this is on CTV. There's a Canadian story, because I can't actually imagine at the moment my country, Britain, or the United States telling that kind of story with such a positive energy of Bash's journey. And it seems entirely right that that's being told here in Canada, which has fantastically liberal views and policies towards immigration.
One of the things I've always wanted to ask for actors being involved in something like this, how do you learn the medical terms, and also when you're doing the operations, to be able to display those operations properly? Because you have medical people are watching going, oh, that's not what you would do. And how do you go through that kind of training?
Quickly and under a lot of pressure. But we have so many great medical consultants that offered their services on the show, that we ran medical boot camps for everything. So, say in episode 4, we have to do XYZ surgery, or, this procedure, we would meet on the weekend, and 4 hours we would dedicate to just learning it, what exactly it is that we're doing, understanding it on a scientific level. And that way the procedure and the information gets into our bodies, and it becomes easier to relay on camera. It becomes easier to fake, but we have to know and understand what it is that we're doing, and the medical consultants did a phenomenal job, and that was a big thing that time to time there were even times where the editors would say that like it would be easier to do this way on camera and stuff like that, but we always had a medical consultant, and we would have the liberty to ask like, hey, does this make sense scientifically? Like, would you do this? And all I need is just like, in an emergency, great. If in an emergency it makes sense, but we just didn't want to do anything that didn't make sense because, like you said, I personally know quite a few doctors, and I just didn't want them to be like, man, come on, what was that? I'm like, I know, but they made me do it.
The thing is, right? I mean, first of all, it's a choreography, and we have to learn that choreography, like a fight, like a dance, and we want to do it properly, correctly, systematically. However, it is a drama that we're making, so certain procedures might actually last 2 or 3 hours. Yeah. So we do slightly have to take theatrical liberties with them for the sake of the drama. Mm-hmm. But definitely, there might be, rather than, as you were saying, X, Y, Z, it might be A, B, C, but we're going to cut out D, E, and F because we really want to get to whatever's next.
Yeah, they go click. Oh, X-rays up, and then we look over it in real time. It would take like 5 minutes.
People will have a little reaction to that, but I think from an audience point of view, it will work. The work that we put in with the consultants, with the writers, that they've done their work with the consultants as well. It will be telling the story to a truthful degree.
Mm-hmm. And there's one other element that we should talk about. There is a young lady in this series. Your daughter in the series, I do believe.
No, she's my little sister.
Sister, yeah. Sorry about that.
Yeah, she's just phenomenal. I was just talking about how she brought such a sincerity to the role and to the character, and when you're given just raw honesty and emotion, like it's just phenomenal to play against, and it makes my job as an actor and a storyteller that much easier because I don't have to do any work.
Have to do anything. Yeah.
What do you hope fans will get from this series?
I mean, I think it's a great journey. I think there's a sense of illumination about, who these foreign people are in country, and same in Britain as well. They're people like you and me. They want the same as you and me. They want to have a life. They want to be able to take part in society and contribute and bring their skills with them. That's all they want, same as any of us,
I agree with that. And yourself, what do you hope fans will get from this?
Just a perspective separate to what they're usually used to getting from mainstream media. That's about it. It's all about education. It's all about information and
fine entertainment as well, actually.
That too.
There's some great storylines in there for the different characters. So it's a medical drama. There's frontline life and death. So
hopefully that'll be the byproduct. We hope people stay for the show and end up learning some things along the way.
I love it. Gentlemen, thank you so much. Looking forward to seeing the series. And looking forward to talking again next year for season 2. Cross fingers. Thank you again.
Thank you.
All right.